good day, adventurers. Today in the shop we have another one of my gauntlets. Specifically, this is the gauntlet of mental focus. This gauntlet is ideal in the hands of a caster, but can be quite useful in any class's hands, to be honest, as all my gauntlets are. There's always usually an ideal class, and then there's the fact that it can be used pretty much by anybody, and we're going to go over that. This gauntlet is all about essentially the mind becoming so strong that it's able to gain all these powers and abilities at a consistent rate, and being able to crush people with your mind, kill people outright with your mind, and be able to see a lot of things coming, and be able to see a lot of things you normally can't see because your mind has gotten so strong. Your mind's eye has gotten extremely powerful and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into the document, shall we? So let's make big me disappear, little me appear, and back to the top. Here we go. The Gauntlet of Mental Focus. When you put this gauntlet on, your head starts to go into an endless spiral with a splitting headache and severe pain, to match the theme of all my gauntlets coming to you with some severe pain of some kind. At level 1, you gain mental range. You are constantly detecting people's thoughts, as the spell Detect Thoughts caster level equals character level. So if we remember, Detect Thoughts is a 3-round focus spell, but by default you're going to have the first round effect on you for everybody around you, and you will essentially know the presence or the absence of thoughts from conscious creatures with intelligence scores of 1 or higher. Is going to be a constant effect on you all the time, and then you have to focus on people to get the second round and the third round effects, where you get to learn a little bit more about what it is the character's doing, and the character gets saves and so on and so forth. And this is a really cool, powerful ability. It should be role played a little bit, that the person who has this gauntlet has to train themselves to kind of shut out all of these extra voices in their heads now that are constantly going off, but it shouldn't be a hindrance. It should be a roleplay quirk and a story quirk, but it shouldn't be a huge hindrance on the player. The player shouldn't feel like they're physically burdened by this ability. It's supposed to be benefits. These are all supposed to be benefits. Level 2, you get a +1 to your intelligence score. At level 3, you get a +2 to intelligence-based skills to amplify the fact that you are getting smarter. At level 4, your intelligence score improves to a +2. At level 5, you gain focused vision. You are constantly under the effects of the spell Arcane Sight caster level equals character level. So just as a remember, Arcane Sight is just this cool little spell that allows you to, essentially, it's like detect magic, but you're able to detect, creatures with magical spell abilities, or things giving off auras of any type, whether it be items, creatures, stuff like that. And you get to learn about the spells that are affecting them, or what kind, if they're have spell-like abilities, or if they're spell casters. And so you have this cool extra ability on you constantly, 24/7, so it's hard for you to miss the magical properties of things around you. It's hard for you to miss a magical creature. It's hard for you to miss a magical item, because you're constantly seeing it. Again, there should be a little bit of roleplay effect about somebody having to get used to the fact that these things are constantly coming off to them, and you're also constantly glowing blue eyes. I thought that was cool, a cool little addition to the characters, that they're constantly glowing blue eyes, which should come with a little bit of drawback of trying to stealth for certain characters. So they should have to go and get to some sunglasses or something like that to hide the blue glow if they're trying to be stealthy. So just a little bit of extra role play there. Level 6, you gain a +1 to your wisdom and a +1 to spell DCs. This is all spell DCs that you have, no matter what class they're from. If you're multi-classing into 2 different classes, all your spell DCs get a +1, which is a huge deal to spellcasters. This is the reason why the ideal class for this gauntlet is a spellcaster. but still pretty good if you're a fighter or if you are a ranger or something like that, because being able to detect people's thoughts, you can kind of see attacks coming, being able to see magical items, you'll know that you're not being you'll know if there's probably an advantage that somebody has over you. Level 7, you gain +2 to wisdom based skills. Level 8, you gain a +2 to your wisdom now instead of a +1, and you gain a +1 to bonus spells per day. Now, what I mean by that is that you don't get a +1 to all your bonus spells. It's what it is that on that table that's in the core rulebook, or that you can also find online, that tells you where your bonus spells are based on your casting stat. This is a +1 to your casting stat for the purpose of deciding your bonus spells, and this also affects both casting stats if you happen to be a multi-classing caster. So this is a really powerful effect for your casters. Two very powerful effects: the spell DC and the bonus spells per day. At level 9, you gain Mind's Eye. You are constantly under the effect of the spell Arcane Eye. The eye defaults to your forehead when not in use, and the caster level equals character level. So Arcane Eye is this cool little ability for you to send this invisible sensor all around you to look around corners or underneath things or over things. You're able to have it move 30 feet per round up to 300 feet per minute. If viewing an area ahead of a human, could primarily looking at the floor at 10 feet per round, 100 feet per minute. If examining the ceiling and walls as well as the floor ahead, it sees exactly as you would see if you were there. So this is just a cool little thing, a cool little addition that, again, this is pretty useful no matter who you are. If you're a rogue, you're able to essentially check things ahead and look for traps. If you are a caster, you're able to keep, make sure that you're not going to be walking into a bad situation, or you can spy or something like that. And if you're a fighter, you can also use this to get a better advantage for combat, because you can look ahead to see what the numbers are and what you're going to be dealing with. So yeah, this is another cool effect that you're constantly under the effects of. Level 10, you gain a +1 to your charisma score and a +2 to your spell DCs now. At level 11, you get a +2 to charisma based skills. At level 12, you gain your charisma bonus increases to a +2, and now your bonus spells per day increases to a +2 as well. At level 13, you gain Bonded Minds. You may, as a swift action, connect your mind with another as the spell Telepathic Bond. Caster level equals character level. So Telepathic Bond is the ability to connect yourself with willing creatures. Each of them must have an intelligence score of 3 or higher, and you're able to communicate with them flawlessly. There's no need for languages or anything like that. So this is once again great for no matter who it has. Fighter, caster, ranger, rogue, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be able to communicate with people, and you can be this translator for everybody, perfect translator, because you can communicate with everybody. Granted, they do have to be willing, so you have to be careful that you have to try to find a way to convey that you're trying to communicate with them with this way if they are unable to understand you properly. So there is still a little bit of a challenge, but at the same time, this is a great way for you to communicate with your allies, to coordinate an assault or an attack, stuff like that. And it's a really great ability, really powerful ability as well. Level 14, your intelligence score moves up to a +3, and your intelligence-based skill bonus increases to a +3. Level 15, your wisdom bonus increases to a +3, and your wisdom-based skill bonus improves to a +3. Level 16, same for charisma and charisma-based skills, they improve to a +3. Level 17, you gain clear sight. You are constantly under the effects of true seeing. This is a super powerful ability, because true seeing, you're essentially able to see through blur, displacement, darkness, invisibility, things that are hiding. You just see everything exactly how it's supposed to see, even mimics and stuff like that. You're going to be able to tell exactly right away what it is, and this is again a huge bonus no matter who you are. If you are the fighter, you're able to see ahead of time whether or not an opponent activates a blur effect or an invisibility effect, you can still combat with them. If you are the rogue, you can be able to identify whether or not a chest or item is going to be a mimic that's hiding from you, or maybe an item is under the effects of an invisibility spell to hide from you. And if you're a caster, you're able to essentially see everything for exactly what it is and be able to identify everything for exactly what it is, because you're also going to have telepathic bonds, arcane eye, arcane sight, and detect thoughts. Level 18, your intelligence, wisdom, charisma, based skills, wisdom-based skills, and charisma-based skills all get bumped up to a 5. And your spell DC increases to a 4, and your bonus spells per day is also increased by 4. Huge bonus, as we usually get roughly around the level 17-18 area, to show the amplified effects that the Gauntlet is getting extremely powerful towards the end. So this is a great thing for your mental stats. You are becoming easier to talk to, you are wiser, and you are smarter, and your skills are showing that as well, because this is now a solid +7 in all of your mental skills. And then your spell DCs are extremely difficult to resist, and your bonus spells, you have so many bonus spells. And then level 19, you gain mental strength. As a swift action, you can use the spell Crushing Hand at will. Caster level equals character level. Crushing Hand is a kind of 3-in-1 spell. It's a really powerful spell. I like the idea of Crushing Hand. It's a level 9 spell, but it doesn't feel like a level 9 spell. It feels like an ability a character should have at late level instead of a level 9 spell, because you only have so many level 9 spells to do. And I don't find it that overpowering of a spell and ability, being able to grapple something like Grasping Hand, dealing 2d6 plus 12 points of damage. That's not a lot of damage for a caster. Casters could easily do something else with level 9 spell. And then being able to Bull Rush as Forceful Hand, or can be directed to interpose itself like Interposing Hands. It's just this really powerful effect to be able to do at will. You essentially have this mental hand that is in your power to constantly grab, push, or interpose. And it's just a really cool, really powerful ability that I thought was a great addition to the Gauntlet to make the Gauntlet wear feel much more powerful in the physical activity realm, because it's being able to see everything and stuff like that, but now it finally has a more physical action to be able to undergo these daunting tasks of being able to stop an opponent and so on and so forth. And then finally, at level 20, you gain Mental Rend. You may, as a swift action, rip the soul from your enemies as the spell Massacre a number of times per day equal to your intelligence modifier. I put a limitation on this one instead of Mental Strength because Mental Rend is actually an extremely powerful spell, and I just wanted to have this kind of really powerful mental effect on the Gauntlet of being able to just, your mind has gotten so strong it can just rip the souls from your enemies. And Massacre is a very powerful spell that's capable of killing 17 hit die and less creatures instantaneously. A number of hit die of 1d4 per caster level, which at level 20 is 20d4 hit die, which is anywhere from 20 to 80 hit die worth of creatures it can just completely wipe out in one go. So this is just an army reducer, just removing essentially the peons, leaving the big creatures for the fight. And it's just this really cool, really powerful effect that I thought was a great addition to this Gauntlet to essentially add, because up until this point it's been a lot of support abilities, and then finally at the end you get some more physical abilities to help the character out get more balanced with my other Gauntlets. And then of course the final description is that the Gauntlet disappears as your mental focus is unmatched by anyone and can even use your mind to rip the souls from the living. So yeah, just a cool little ability. This is the Gauntlet of Mental Focus. I really enjoy the Gauntlet of Mental Focus. I think it's one of my more underrated Gauntlets. From my group, that when they used it, they definitely really loved Mental Strength and Mental Rend. They didn't say it, but they used all of the clear sight, bonded minds, and mind's eye, focus vision, mental range. They use those abilities constantly and consistently over and over and over again, but they don't give it as much praise as I think it deserves. So yeah, that is the Gauntlet of Mental Focus. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying my Gauntlet videos. I hope you're enjoying my roleplay videos in general. If you have anything on your mind, whether you have an idea of maybe something should work a different way or something should be added to make the Gauntlet more on par with the others, anything like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments or come see me in one of my streams and we'll talk about it. I'd love to talk about my stuff at any time. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I hope you guys are enjoying your day and I hope you guys have a safe adventure.